Hello everyone, welcome to Simon's Trading Channel. My name's Simon, this is my daily Bitcoin price action analysis. Happy Friday to you, coming towards the end of the week. And the weekly closure looks like it might be red. You never know, might be green. But look where this is the previous weekly closure. Oh dear. It tried really hard not to close. Bitcoin tried very hard not to break below, and it took it as support initially, and then boom. Anyway, before we get into price action, I just want to remind you I'm not a financial advisor. Right, so let's get into it. Yes, bit of a red day yesterday, just after I recorded my video. And I was busy, so I missed out on all this juicy downside, but never mind. Live to fight another day, right? That's what trading's all about. So I've got a bit of a confession to make. Yes, that's right. On Simon's Trading Channel, honesty is the policy. I'm going to switch onto weekly and over to Bitstamp because I think I made a little bit of an error. Might have been last week or week before. I recorded a video talking about green candles after claiming the all-time high, but I wasn't accurate enough with what's going on here. Why have I got an orange pen in my hand? I wasn't accurate enough with putting on the highs, so accuracy was lacking. But I've remedied that. I've remedied that. So as you can see, I've picked out pretty much to the wick high. So the first bull run all-time high there, then the second one behind us, green. There's not much of a wick, so it's a candle closure, and then the third one, you'll be able to see much more accurate on that tiny green candle. So the reason why I'm doing this confession is that having been more accurate with the all-time high levels, you can see that when it was first approached back in, it was the week of the 2nd of January 2017, it's quite a big rejection to the tune of, and this isn't completely accurate, but it doesn't need to be, 34%. So quite a big pullback before then closing above. It had a similar pullback then, and then it broke through. Okay. On to the next iteration, next all-time high, next all-time high approached on the week of the 23rd of November 2020. And you can see, so it's this doji candle here. Wow! Just moved the wrong thing. So bear with me. It's about 16%, right? And then there was another move up and I was rejected a bit less, probably about 10%, looking at that, maybe 8%, and then a bullish move through. Okay. So 34 and 16. Right, now I'm going to switch back to Bybit, but keep those numbers in mind. And now you're probably wondering, what is all that? Well, I'm going to try and multitask, because what I've done here is it's more obvious on a daily chart. In fact, it's more obvious on the 4-hour chart. I picked out some key levels, in my humble opinion, starting from the top and coming down. So support resistance levels, effectively, which as price comes down, should be support. As price goes up, should be resistance. And so as price is now coming down, for the first time since here, really, but that was just a wick. Well, that was a corrective move down. This seems a bit more. This is not so much corrective. as it stands. Anyway, I'm getting off track. So effectively, these are all the same width areas. So these gaps are all the same. And they do line up to some significant support resistance levels. So clearly Bitcoin's already sort of approached this 66,000. Now, think about what I just did on the Bitstamp video. So 16 and 34. So 16% takes you down to about 61, which was a previous support level I had on the lower time frames here. So as the price broke up and then came back down, there were no closures below 61. This wick didn't close below it either. So that's, you know, that's significant area. And then I've got this one here at 59. 59, just on a personal note, I would like to think is a strong support area. Having said that, if history repeats itself, or it probably won't repeat itself, but if it resembles in some way 2017, which probably won't, but you never know. 34%. Hello, can you go? Hello, can you go? Comes very close. So 34% is about 48,000, but it comes very close to that 47.2 mark, which is this high, and then the breakout. The range breakout was actually here, but it's around this high, and then this level when that impulsive move had petered out, and then it started to do highs and lows. So, you know, I think there's two potential areas if Bitcoin decides to reference the previous all-time high rejections. So that was me making a little confession and getting some useful information out of it. Anyway, don't know that's going to happen. It may not happen because, you know, Bitcoin doesn't probably have a memory, or maybe it does. I don't know, because I'm not made of ones and zeros, or maybe I am, and I just don't realise it. Anyway, enough of that rubbish, Simon. So there you go. There's a 4 hour, and it picks up the area. It does look like there's a bit of support here. We've got a few. Like our last 4 hour candle and the one previous were quite wicky. That doesn't really mean anything unless the price action reacts to it. So taken on their own, those sort of candles aren't super helpful in my experience, but you know, they're interesting. So if we drop down to the 15-minute, you can see in a bit more detail what's going on. So like yesterday, what's the time? 8 minutes. I'm not going to go on for too much longer, you'll be pleased to know. As I said yesterday, I think I had 70,000 as a sort of rangy low. For Bitcoin to do more upside, it would have been good to see it go sideways for a prolonged period of time, you know, to accumulate, to distribute, not to distribute, to accumulate, to consolidate before another impulsive move to the upside. That didn't happen, clearly. Yes, that's obvious, Simon. But if Bitcoin bounces from here, and it doesn't really look like it's going to, but if it did, what you wouldn't want to see would be something like this. Some sort of like descending triangle wedgy thing up against support, because that'll be more likely, in my humble opinion, to then break down. So if Bitcoin's going to bounce from this current area, you want to see it do something a bit more aggressive. You know, we're coming to the weekend, so maybe a bit of sideways, but if it holds up here for the weekend and then early next week starts to make some upside, and if it's closing 4 hours back above 70,000, that looks smashing. But if it doesn't do that, if it's a bit more like this, or just busts on down, then more downside. It's likely 59,000 would be a good target for more downside, probably with a stop somewhere around 62, sort of 62.5-ish, roughly. And we'll see what happens. Anyway, I'm going to leave that. That's 10 minutes. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you got some something useful out of it. And you liked my confessions with Simon. Have a great Friday. Have a smashing weekend. We're nearly there. If you've enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. And if you haven't, don't bother coming back tomorrow because I will be doing it all again. Take care. See you tomorrow.